Jade. McFarlane Toys. Here we go. DC Multiverse. Let's talk about it. This is Jade. Right here. This is her. This is what Jade looks like, depending on what time frame you are talking about. But this is Jade. See Jade? See Jade right there? See how Jade is not fire? That's a pretty real distinction. Because, man, did I mess up. I took her off the shelf, by the way. There's already a short talking about it and everything. She had to go. That figure was terrible. It was terrible. I hated it. Like, I hated almost everything about it. And the longer it sat on the shelf, the more I looked at it, the more I was like, that figure is terrible. This is different. This, Jade, right here, is the daughter of Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern. Comics can get complicated. We're not going to go into all of it. We're going to say that's who she is. Jade is the daughter of Alan Scott. There, okay? But he does have a couple of kids, and she does have somebody that she considers a brother, unless, of course, because there was there's like a change in the continuity, and then it gets really complicated. It's stupid. Comic books can be very irritating because they don't know when to just let something be what it is, and the way they retcon and things like that on a constant basis, my information could be way off. So as usual, look, guys, I am not an expert on anything. I know the comics that I've read, and that's what I know. That's what I know. And I know that Jade is the daughter of Alan Scott by the comics that I read at the time that I read. And I do recognize this costume, and I did want Jade. Now, minor problem. Getting Jade opens up the fact that I don't have Alan Scott. I had a chance at an Alan Scott, and I passed him by. Because the Alan Scott that I found, I had him in my hand, I was ready to buy him and everything, when I realized there was a problem with him. A problem that I could not detect right off the bat. See, I'm red-green deficient, and it can cause real problems with my eyes. So I didn't realize that Green Lantern had a lighting effect that went across him. So he was like, kind of like as if the light was shining this direction, and the light, and the way the colors went, and I got to looking at him, and I was like, oh crap. I actually did a video talking all about it, and I got rid of him. I was like, well, crap, no, never mind. I put him right back on the shelf. So I still don't have an Alan Scott. I also need a Jay Garrick. Those are two main members that I feel you can't put a Justice Society on the shelf and not have them. I need them. Will I get them? It's getting more difficult to do all the time. We have the pre-orders. I have all the situation that happened in terms of my life. I have my money tied up in a bunch of different stuff, and the money that's not tied up in that stuff is actually tied up basically in pre-orders at this point, and I have very little to spare and very little that's accumulating in the extra of my life right now. Pretty tight-knit. And those figures are going up. Like, every other time I look at them, for a while they were sitting in the 40 bracket, and I was like, that's fine, I'll be able to afford that. Now I think I've seen them where they're climbing into the 60 bracket. I don't know how easy or difficult it's going to be when I finally have the extra money to jump in there. Like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But having her makes me feel like now I need Alan Scott and Jay Garrick. So it kind of puts them higher on my list, but they cost more than they should because I'm not about to find them at MSRP. And welcome to collecting. I mean, we've literally all been there. We'll figure it out, right? We'll figure it out. Okay, guys, let's open this thing. Okay, so let's start with our first complaint, because we're going to do that. I'm going to keep doing this. I don't care. I don't care how it looks. I don't care how irritating it is. I'm going to say it every single one of these reviews just to keep harping on it. Flight stand. Jade can fly. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. And I know that it does not raise the price when you do it because you've done it for multiple Superman now. Flight stands. Flight stands, McFarlane. Flight stands. As a standard at this point. Stop with these little discs. Stop it. So, she does come with 2 gripping hands, and I'm going to call them gripping hands because as far as I could tell, these are not shaped in terms of being trigger finger hands. So that's a plus. Otherwise, here she is. She's got a very, very decent face sculpt. I like that a lot. If there's one thing I can give to McFarlane, it's that when he does it right, he really does it right. The faces on McFarlane figures, and I'm not saying he hasn't done terrible ones. We got a Jay Leno Superman, okay? We got a Jay Leno Superman, okay? So he does them bad, but when he does them right, when his people apply themselves, and when they really knock it out, they do. They really do. Otherwise, basic body, basic design. There's not too much to really point out here. I do have a bit of a problem. So, there. That is her. Because whatever's going on with mine, that seems to be her at rest. And it's not right. It's got a small hole here because that's where. So, I kind of got to push her back. And then she has a hard arc in her back. And then move her kind of forward. I'm not sure why mine is funny like that, but it is causing me a bit of a problem. Not one that I will easily get over. Otherwise, everything else I'm seeing, I like. I don't like, I would prefer, and I know they gave her the high heels, so they couldn't necessarily do this. I don't like that they put her markings right there on her back. It means that any kind of photos that I do will have to avoid showing her back, because you'll get that, and I really don't like those markings to show up in any kind of photos that I do or anything like that. Her hands, however, we do got to talk a little bit about them. They're like Green Lantern energy, fiery hand things, which is fine for her. But I got to ask, if we had these hands, why did Fire not get these? Not that it would have necessarily helped her, but why didn't Fire get these? These make a lot of sense for a character like that and a character like this. But yeah, I just don't understand. Otherwise, there's not too much to talk about here. She's solid. She's a McFarlane figure. These boots very much feel like they're probably taken from the Catwoman Nightfall figure. I can't say that 100%, but they seem awfully familiar when I'm moving her around. In fact, this body, I can't prove this, but this body, this might be the Nightfall Catwoman. Like all the way. There might be a difference in the knees slightly, but I don't know. It feels awfully familiar. I'm pretty sure that what we got here was a head and hands and then a paint job. That's it. Is that bad? No. No, I don't honestly believe that it's bad. I think that it's fine. We understand that toy lines do reuse, and we understand that some toy lines do a lot of it. And to be fair, in some cases, reuse doesn't necessarily hurt the line if it's done the right way. And here we got a Jade. I think I'm more forgiving to a lot of stuff like this than some other people that I come across, but I'm just going to go ahead and say this. We got a Jade. Like, that's crazy. This line gave us Jade, Ragman, Our Man, a solid Power Girl. Like, we've been able to cut pretty deep with DC Multiverse. I'm going to hand it to him. Regardless of anything that we could say, regardless of all the irritations we could have, and we could have some. We definitely could. I think that overall, people will probably look back on this line and think it had a decent run. Personally, I really do. I know that some people are very much looking forward to him being done with the license and being out of it, and I get it. I'm not saying you're wrong for wanting that. I'm not saying you're wrong for wanting to see another person come in and try their luck, another company come in and try their luck. But for what we got, for the time that we got it, at the cost that we got it for, I actually think that McFarlane had a solid DC run. I really do. I honestly do. It'll be very interesting to see what the next company, what Mattel gives us. Maybe it'll be unbelievable. Maybe we'll be wishing we had him back. It'll be interesting to see where we get in the next 2 to 3 years, in all honesty.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.